Okay, I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Township of Lopatcong for August 7th, 2024. I'd like to have you lower your head, please, prayer. Please keep Gary Van Vliet in your prayers, who passed away this past month. Gary was the chairman of the planning board and a longtime resident of Lopatcong. Pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided indicating the time and place of the meeting in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 by advertising a notice in the Star Ledger, the Eastern Express, Warren County Zone, and by posting a copy on the bulletin board in the municipal building. Roll call, Beth.
Councilman Del Caro. Councilman Marinelli.
Here.
Councilman McQuaid.
Here.
Council President Polito.
Here.
Mayor Wright.
Here. Wade, would you summarize the executive session,
Yeah,
please?
the Township Council met in executive session where it discussed privilege matters regarding personnel, zoning official, attorney-client privilege, EMS update, contractual general code recodification project update, and attorney-client privilege tax appeal CICF to settlement. Minutes from the executive session will be made available at such time as the Township Council deems no public harm will come from it and no action was taken.
Okay, great. All right, Chief, we're going to swear in Darrell Struthers, Class 3 police officer.
Darrell, you're going to stand here and you can face the audience. Okay, you can stand on his side over there and hold the Bible. Put your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. And repeat after me. I, Darrell Struther,
I, Darrell Flynn,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and under the state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform all the duties of Class 3 police officer,
and justly perform all the duties of Class 3 police officer,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
It's very nice to meet you.
Now that it is official, I would just like to introduce Officer Struther. So Officer Struther comes to the Lopatcong Police Department after a remarkable law enforcement career with over 25 years of experience, 3 years of which he served as a school resource officer. As a Lopatcong Township police officer, he'll be assigned to the first full-time school resource officer within the Lopatcong School District. Officer Struther will truly be an asset to the Lopatcong School District in this community that he's been a part of for more than 20 years now. On behalf of the Lopatcong Police Department, I'd like to welcome Officer Struther and wish him the very best in his new role.
All right. Public comment. This is for agenda items only, and it's public comment. Mr. Bruce?
Good evening, Council. I have questions tonight concerning tonight's agenda for the first readings of ordinances 2417 and 18. I'm
Just so you
sorry.
know, we're just doing public comment. There's not going to be questions.
It's agenda items.
I know, on agenda, you can make your comments on that.
Comments only.
Okay. Well, my comment is that I have questions concerning tonight's agenda for the first readings. We had previous to their right sending, it was questions and comments. So interpret that as you will, but I have questions concerning tonight's agenda for the first readings of ordinances 2417 and 18 as shown on tonight's agenda concerning the authorization to acquire the building 1301 Belvedere and the appropriation of $200,000 for such acquisition. This council has previously, in response to residents' questions concerning this property, was unable to provide a reason why it wants to acquire this property, so I stand before you tonight with you ready to authorize $200,000 for the property, to please address why you think we should acquire this property and what you think the property will be used for. I was planning, since I said was questions and comments, to wait for an answer, but I'll just continue and hope that you respond in the order that I did it. Concerning the first reading of ordinance 2419, increasing the penalties for traffic violations, I was just wondering if we could get some examples of how much the penalties will be increased. And tonight's reading of ordinance 2020, creation, if I understand correctly, of a new senior account clerk job. I'd be welcome an explanation of why we need this position, what the responsibilities envisioned for this position will fulfill. Specifically, are they new responsibilities we need someone to take up for us, or are we shifting or offloading some responsibilities that are currently being performed by someone? And I think Chief Garcia already addressed, I was going to question the Officer Struggle. Officer Struggle, welcome aboard as a school resource officer. So that was the extent of my questions.
Thank you. Anyone else? Public comment only?
So I shall not expect an answer, sir?
It's comment only.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
There'll be a second reading, you could ask questions, all right? Anyone else? Agenda items only. Seeing none. Old business. Number 1, minutes. Approve executive and regular session minutes for July 3rd, 2024. I need a motion and a second, please.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes. Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Wright?
Yes. Ordinance 24-14, second reading and public hearing to amend, revise, supplement Chapter 227, Section 20A, vehicles over designated gross vehicle weight rating excluded from certain county streets to include additional county roads. I have a motion and a second to hold a public hearing, please.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Comments from the public on 24-17? Mr. Bruce?
I just rise to support this ordinance, and I would like to hear what roads specifically are impacted by this ordinance. I understand it's just county, is that correct?
Do we know it?
Yeah. It's in the ordinance.
It's
Yeah.
Liberty Road between County Route 519 and New Jersey 57.
Oh, excellent.
Belvedere Road between Harmony Township boundary line and Lincoln Road. And County Route 519 between mile marker 4205 and marker 2195 at Route 57.
Excellent, thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing none, motion and second to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion and a second to adopt this ordinance.
Motion. Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Yes. Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Wright?
Yes. Ordinance number 24-15, second reading and public hearing to amend the supplement section 173-191, information to be given to all tenants, require landlords to provide hard copies of all notices pertaining to lease to tenants, and create section 173-19.2 entitled Property Management Companies, imposing the requirements of the chapter onto property management companies retained by landlords. I need a motion and a second to hold public hearing, please.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Comments from the public? Mr. Bruce?
I rise to commend and support this ordinance. It has made me proud to witness the concern shown and the actions taken that Councilman President Polito has undertaken on behalf of tenants that have had to deal with landlords to try to use their property management companies as legal protection against legitimate complaints raised by their tenants. And I want to shout out to John Best, because I've been seeing him for over 2 years, come here and support those tenants. So thank you both.
Okay. Anyone else? Any other comments? Seeing none, motion second to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion and a second to adopt this ordinance, please.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes. Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Wright?
Yes. Ordinance number 24-16, second reading and public hearing to establish Chapter 41 entitled Personal Policy and Practices, to create Section 41-01 entitled Anti-Nepotism Policy. Need a motion and a second to hold a public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Comments from the public? Yes.
John Ketcherson, 38 J Lane. Could you just give us the essence of what this ordinance is and why the council?
Yeah, so the real reason this is being enacted is because for the police department, the town's part of civil service, there's an alternate route to appoint officers rather than to a testing period, which you have to wait for the results and testing. If the township enacts this anti-nepotism policy, it allows them to take a what's called a secondary route of appointment for officers, just streamline. It's for the ease of them.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Any other comments? Seeing none, I need a motion and a second to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And a motion and a second to adopt this ordinance.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Wright?
Yes. New business. Ordinance number 24-17. First reading, authorization and acquisition of property commonly known as 1301 Belvedere Road and shown as Lot 1 in Block 30 on the official tax map of the Township of Lopatcong. This is the old squad building. I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Yes. Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Wright?
Yes. This is ordinance number 24-18. First reading of capital ordinance for acquisition of the Emergency Services Building located at 1301 Belvedere Road for the Township of Lopatcong and appropriating $200,000 for such purpose. Need a motion and a second, please?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Wright?
Yes. Ordinance number 24-19. First reading to amend revised supplement chapter 227 titled Vehicles and Traffic, Section 4, Violation and Penalties to increase penalties for violations. Need a motion and a second, please?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Wright?
Yes. Ordinance number 24-20. First reading to establish job titled Senior Accountant Clerk and salary range. Motion and a second, please.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes. Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Wright?
Yes. Consent agenda. Everybody took a look at it. I need a motion and a second, 1 through 18.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes. Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Wright?
Yes. Okay, a couple announcements. Community Day is August 24th with a rain date of August 31st. Our shred event is September 14th. Yard sale event is September 21st. Fall cleanup, October 5th. And you can check our website for more details. Council reports. Mitch?
I have nothing to report, Mayor.
Scott?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank the police department for all the work they do for the National Night Out. Unfortunately, it was canceled this year, but there's a lot of work to go into the planning part of it.
Most of my report was already announced. Community Day, car show is back on. Proceeds going to the fire department, as well as the proceeds from the yard sale event. Flyers will be going out this week. And
Okay.
that's all.
All right. Couple things. I don't know if everybody's seen, but we have a part-time traffic enforcement officer been hitting the streets the last 2 weeks. And I've been seeing him stopping cars everywhere. I've been hearing on the radio. He must stop 20 cars a day or tractor trailers on our roads. So I'm sure the chief will talk a little bit about it, but it's working out real well. Otherwise, if I have anything else, not really much to say. I did have the squad respond to my house today in the police department, and they did it in a very, very timely manner. It was really amazing to see guys from Peaburg get here and also Lopat. They were right on the scene, and I really appreciate that, guys. All right, engineer's report.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So to sort of the most visible project that we've had over the last month is the Belvedere Road sidewalk project right around Phillipsburg High School on the Lopatcong side. That work has now been substantially completed. Currently, we've requested an inspection of the project by the NJDOT. There are some minor items which need to be finalized and completed, but generally the project has gone very smoothly. And we expect, the project to be finalized in the coming weeks. There shouldn't be any major disruptions anymore to traffic. We don't expect any major disruptions unless some corrective work needs to be done. The next project, which I've already spoken on, Jade Lane project, that work is complete in terms of the drainage repairs, sidewalk repairs, and manhole repairs there. We're still coordinating on the contractor for milling and paving. As soon as we have an update, we'll provide that when they give us a date that they'll be on in town to do the work. And finally, the Bellevue Road project, that project has also been completed. The next phase or step on the park progress is we've completed the design of the pickleball courts at this time. We're finalizing the bid documents and getting everything ready to get the project in the paper. And we hope to have that advertised in the next 2 weeks. So then we can shortly after that open bids and then coordinate on building that project in the fall here. And then the next phase, the design of that park project generally will be for the pool. And we're starting that design process and then I believe in the next 2 weeks. We'll be starting that. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Chief, you have anything?
Thank you, Mayor, Council. So, yeah, as you said, Mayor, we, effective July 24th, we're able to dedicate traffic enforcement to our roadways. And I hope to continue this through the month of August, at least. If I can bring it a little bit further into September, I will. But as of right now, we plan to do it at least until the end of August. But we've seen a lot of vehicles being stopped, so it's working. Our numbers increased, as you'll see slightly, just in the week that he was out there. So it's making a difference. E-ticketing. Our e-ticketing program is all in every patrol car that we have now. So it's going to be cutting down the time that officers have to be on a traffic stop and holding up the violator. So it's been working great for us so far, and it's been running for the last probably about a week now, last several days. And as Councilman Marinelli had indicated, National Night Out was canceled last night due to the inclement weather. It's a shame, but there's so many people that do work very hard to put that together, and I'd be remiss if I did not thank them. Our businesses have been phenomenal, our township businesses, to make that happen for us every year. So I'd like to thank them in general, but also to our Lopatcong Fire Department, Chief LaFord, our Lopatcong DPW and Superintendent Brian Weeks, And our police department National Night Out is run by Sergeant Stephen Gabos. Countless hours going into that, and it's unfortunate that had to be canceled, but we'll see everybody again next year. Our traffic report for the month of July, the police department saw a total of 198 stops throughout the month of July, and then 46% of those stops were issued a summons, and then 36% of those issued summonses were tractor trailers. And that's my report for the month of July.
Thank you.
Thank you.
DPW, Brian?
Gentlemen. Yeah, I just want to touch base a little bit on things we've done. I've given you our report, all right, every month. You receive that, I hope. I want to give you a little bit of what's coming down the pike for us, all right? I don't know if you've noticed it, but we're watching leaves drop. We're going to watch over where Gary Van Bleed, Ryan Terrace. They will be being picked up not too far down the road. All right, so for us, we're planning on different things. We took the dirt from the project up here and made a better area for the leaves. So it meets stormwater regulations a lot better, all right, not going over the hills and all that stuff. And right now, a lot of it is maintaining and getting everything ready for Community Day, getting everything in line and working on all the equipment when it's raining out and keeping it all moving. So we went out and made sure all the storm drains are open, eliminate the flood. We went out and made sure all the detention basins, everything's open before that flood's all hit, rain-wise.
Great.
So, all right.
All right. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, appreciate it. Fire Chief, Lou?
Mayor, Council, good evening. For the month of July, we had 14 incidents, which average response time of 7 minutes. Our average duration on scene was about 40, with 8 personnel and 3 apparatus responding. For the year, we're at 130 calls. That's down about 3%. Last year, we were at 135 for the same time frame. Our response time for the year is 6 minutes, with the average incident duration of 32 minutes, with 9 people and 4 apparatus. That's all I have for you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks for today. EMS, Cap?
Good evening, everybody. All right, for the month of July, Phillipsburg Emergency Squad ran 444 calls, of which 105 were Lopatcong, which was 23.6% of our call volume. Year to date, we've ran 3,178 calls, of which 840 were in Lopatcong, which was 26.4% of our volume.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, need a motion and a second to approve department reports.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Ray?
Yes. Approval of payment of bills. Motion and a second, please.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Yes. Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Ray?
Yes. Public comment, 3 minutes, comment only. Mr. Bruce.
Bob Bruce, Harwich Road. I wanted to thank the council for listening to the public's calls, for restoring Mayor Mangucci's ability of residents to raise comments and questions on agenda items. It is in the interest of every resident to clearly and plainly understand what its government is doing and why. I again want to thank the council for initially adopting the presentation of the monthly traffic reports by Chief Garcia. Given all of the truck traffic the influx of warehouses has brought to our little township, it was something we asked as residents that you present each month, and it has helped to know that the level of enforcement of traffic violations continues, if not actually having increased, along with the amount of trucks. I'd also like to thank council for adding monthly reports concerning fire and EMS calls, something I believe that council independently implemented upon them by themselves without being asked by the residents. Tonight, I'd like to ask the council to further expand the sharing of monthly reports by beginning short monthly reports on the status of any warehouses known to be planned or thought to be planned. I am aware of an additional warehouse planned on Strikers and an additional warehouse planned behind the mall warehouse already going in. Can the council provide monthly reports of the status of these or other warehouses, even if it's just to say, no change to this warehouse, no change to that warehouse? Just kind of share with the residents where we are regarding warehouses being planned or considered. Can I also ask that this council, or perhaps Mr. Lavery, who's not here tonight, so you can, whoever does it, I'd like the council to each month simply note the status of any new or ongoing litigation that we're either defending or prosecuting. I realize that what you can say about ongoing litigation is quite limited, and that's okay. It's not what I ask that you report on. I ask simply that you identify what is presently in court, and at each month you update us, even if to simply restate that the legal actions for or against Lopat, and nothing has changed. Last but not least, and real quick, I wanted to remind council that videos have yet to be posted for the June 26th Planning Board meeting or the June 27th Special Council meeting. And if I restate my questions that I asked under agenda items, since questions were technically not allowed, would this be the appropriate time that I can ask and expect an answer?
Comments only.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Lynn Strauss, 110 South 6th Street. Due to my persistence, with no help from council at all, the dumpster issue with Key City Diner has been resolved. Key City Diner management has been very attentive to this matter. Second, I would like to thank the Department of Public Works for painting my handicap space and installing the proper signage.
All right, Mr. Betts.
John Betts, Breakley Gardens, Red School Lane, 225 Red School Lane. I'd like to thank council and everybody that worked at getting this ordinance number 24-15, second reading read, and passing section 173-191, information to be given to all tenants, require landlords to provide hard copies of all notices pertaining to the lease to tenants, and create section 172-19.2, entitled property management companies imposing the requirements of the chapter to property management companies retained by the landlords. I would also just like to make a statement. It's going to be a rhetorical statement. What is going to, what will, it's rhetorical combination. What are the intentions of the rent loving board in enforcing the ordinances in the rent control ordinance? And the second is informational. There is a tenant that I spoke to today that has an attorney, and their attorney has not been responded to either. So that puts a personal attorney not responded to. And I know for the longest time that Lopatcong's attorneys hadn't been being responded to by Harbor Group. So that's just rhetorical. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Anyone else?
Richard Merker, 1400 Belvedere Road. First, I think the police department having a designated traffic person is needed. I live right there on the corner of Red School and Belvedere. There's continuous trucks coming through there. Overweight. I don't know what we should do about the speed limit, or if we can't do anything, or, they're coming through there 50 plus. Right, you're putting in these sidewalks, that's great, because most people stay on the road, but they're barreling through there. So September, October, November, December, we should keep a continuous traffic cop to handle that. Second comment is, I don't know what our policy is in Lopatcong with illegal immigration, right? It's not a Texas issue. It's not an Arizona issue. It's everywhere, and I've never heard any conversation about it in our town. Are they coming to our schools? I don't know. But if we're not already talking about it, we should be. That's comment number 2. Number 3 is the sidewalk going all the way down to Red School Lane. Is that happening next year? Are the plans finalized? I don't know what's going on there because, they've been talking about it for years.
I'll find out after the meeting, we'll get back to you.
Okay? That's all I have. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes.
Hi, Pam Thomas, 6 Wordsworth Lane, and I do need to say that any comments or ideas that I have tonight are strictly my own and not as a representative of the school board, of which I am a member. So, first of all, I just want to say I love to see the sidewalks on Belvedere Road, and I have a question about Charles and Belvedere, so that's the extent of where they are right now. Will there be a crossing guard, or is there discussion of like a future traffic light there? It's a tough situation. So now the sidewalks are there for the kids, that they can get to the high school, right? But how do they get across Belvedere Road? And concerned about that safety.
All right, we'll check out.
Thank
I'll get
you.
back to you. Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else? Seeing none, motion for adjournment?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you for coming out.
Yeah.